Debbie at Basket Case Mom Fab Finds. I can't hold my phone straight. And we are at my new Goodwill. They just opened a brand new Goodwill near me. So we're going to go check this one out. And I also recorded some video, and I didn't do an intro on there, but I'll add it to this at the expensive thrift store, which this one's probably expensive too, but we'll give it a shot. And I did find a few things, so we'll go over that at the end. But I'm going to go inside and see what I can find, and I'll try to remember to hold the phone this way because at the beginning of the last one it's going this way, so you'll see, because I forget. But it's easier for me to hold it the other way, so that's just it. And I'll probably do a voiceover because it's really hard to talk in there usually, and there's people and there's music, so we'll see what we can do. But I'll see you inside. Okay, so we are in the hard goods section, and this is a cute stamped pottery dish. They want $5 for it, and I'm not doing a very good job. It's really pretty, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get anything back out of it at $5 really, because there's no signature. So, and it doesn't tell me anything about it. So I'm looking around here. This was really cute for 4th of July. Look at it. But look at the big chip inside of it. I didn't see it right then, but I'll see it in a minute. And they want $5 for that as well. And then there's some candle holders, lots of votives, lots and lots of votives. It's so funny. We were looking for some colored votives for a wedding recently, and of course we found them here and there. But gotta tell you, for votives, like a lot of times you can get them cheaper elsewhere, and that's sad. This was adorable. They wanted $4 for it, and I end up putting it back because it's small, and small things don't sell always for a lot. That was really interesting looking. It was like a bunch of driftwood. They wanted $5. It was from Kirkland's, like for putting a candle inside of it. But I continued on my way, and it's funny how when you look. So I didn't see the thing below that. That might have been interesting because I saw this dog and I was distracted. And this was just a votive holder. They wanted $3 for it. Again, it was probably just like resin, so I didn't think, at $3 it was, who knows? You don't know. You don't know those kinds of things. Sometimes they do okay and sometimes they don't. Again, that was some pottery. It was signed. And I'm a fan of all different kinds of Native American pottery. I always tend to grab it, but I actually have quite a bit right now, so I didn't grab that one. I do grab something later, I think, but I don't know if I got video of it or not, because I literally went to 4 different places, and I'm doing a terrible job of showing you things. This was from Ross. I'm drawn to owls, so I had to put that one back. Some snow babies, and then some more various tchotchkes. There was a little shoe back there, a turtle on the bottom. What I spot down here, though, and I pick it up, is a nativity set. And they did want $7.99 for it, which would be okay, probably. I don't think it was, I think it was kind of generic, but it was super cute. It had the house, so I thought, okay, now we're talking. Maybe we got something going here. So I'm like looking at all the different pieces because there was a baby Jesus in his little bed. There was a shepherd, although that could have been Joseph. These were made in China, so that was discouraging, but that's okay. It's still, they could be vintage. I had to look them up. That was a wise man, and there were 2 other wise men, and that's the floor. Sorry. I can't look. I obviously cannot look. This is why I don't do a lot of these videos. I frustrate myself. I may get better at them, though. But there's a cow, and there was a sheep, and I love the house. I didn't get to take it out to make sure it wasn't broken because I quickly discover there is no Mary and there is no Joseph. The shepherd could be Joseph, but there still was no Mary. She's kind of essential to the story, so I put it back. There's another shoe. That was a really cute little trinket box. Now they do all colors at our Goodwill, like they do at most Goodwills, but they no longer do anything with discounts for the colors, so it's kind of pointless. But today, it was a Tuesday, so that's senior citizen discount, which is 15% off, and since I'm a senior citizen, that helps. But still not much there. Some cute little fairies dancing. And there's a nutcracker, which I have 3. And this is really cute. Oh, this is cute. I don't know that it was ever worth anything. Look at that face. Oh my goodness. It had something to do with housework. And it said, "Oh, you doll" on the bottom. But her fingers were broken. That was Helen, by the way. But look, she's got no fingers. So, and believe it or not, I actually think as I'm doing this that, oh, it's going well, that you're seeing everything I'm seeing, hopefully. And this is all the flower pots. Now, I just recently, I've been looking for some flower frogs because sometimes the frogs do really well. That was super lightweight, very cool looking, but it was really lightweight and it was like made to look old, and it did. There's a cute pumpkin next to it that was terracotta. And then just a bunch of different pottery things here. Now I do pick this up because this does look vintage. It looks old, it looks vintage, there's no marks on it. So I do look it up later, and like I'm looking to see if I can see a mark. You're helping me. But if you noticed, I went by really quickly, but there's a chip on the bottom of it that I don't spot initially, but I do spot it when I pick it up later. There was another one on the corner there. There was another one inside of it. So it went back on the shelf. I was sad. But it looked cool. So I did pick it up and take a look at it. That one had $40 on the bottom of it, but there were no marks. Um, so I don't know. It was maybe something interesting, but without marks, it's not terribly. I like the glaze on it though. It had a Hager look to it, which is why I picked it up. And I'm grabbing that Egyptian looking thing. It's obviously not Egyptian, but it was like a metal covered with a lacquer kind of thing, made to look older than it actually was. A whole bunch of stuff that's from various flower arrangement things. And that was really pretty. 7.49. It was like a purpley glass. Um Again, not a mark on it. And I was going to pick that up and it wasn't about the price. It's just I have so many very large things right now in inventory that I need to move out. So I'm just trying to conserve space. Um and big things are not my friend right now. And that doesn't mean if it was worth a lot, I probably would have picked it up anyway, and it might have been, but it just the first voice in my head right now is don't take it if it's too big, because we don't really have much space for big things right now, especially hard goods. So, in my inventory, one of these days I'll take you and show you the inventory space, but I have it pretty well done. So that was I think sand and fog candle, and some more votives and candles over here. I always take a look in the candles and the votives, especially. Glassy baby is always what I'm looking for. But sometimes these toppers, if they're Yankee Candle, can do well. That was like for the 4th of July, since that's coming up, it caught my eye, but it was not a Yankee Candle one. So I'm just kind of hunting through to see if there's anything that makes my heart sing. There was a little round glass votive holder, some big candles. It is it is summer, and I just shipped something to someone in North Dakota the other day. It was 105 there. So, I mean, no, New Mexico, sorry. It was 105 there. So, it reminded me that 'tis not the season for shipping candles. Now you notice there is something in my cart, and that was a Pottery Barn bookend, and it was a dachshund, but there was no other side of the bookend, so I was disappointed and put it back. And it probably would have fetched $20-$30, but they wanted, I think, $12.99 for it, so it went back. Anyway, I'm looking at all the pictures and the signs and the frames. They have 2 walls of this in this particular thrift store. This is the what I call the expensive thrift store. As you can see, there's a dachshund. Is he not the cutest thing? There wasn't the other end. The other end probably got broken, but I did debate, because if I had both ends, I think I would have paid up for it, because I probably would have got $60, $70, maybe even $100. Who knows? So check them out. Always look them up, but I know some of those do very, very well. Pottery Barn in general can do very well. Pottery Barn Kids in general can do very well. I know the lamps that are like construction equipment go for a lot of money. So if you see them, some rattan little dollhouse chairs. They were pretty cute. I just thought this was pretty. It was just, isn't that adorable? It certainly was nothing special, just that it was cute. Ladybug, it would be adorable. It was a wooden puzzle. This was like all the wood decor. And I just like to peruse through here. Generally, the wood stuff isn't anything unless it's some kind of marquetry. I did see a really pretty bowl when I was out with my daughter the other day, and I did almost pick it up. That was um, like all different types of marquetry. It was probably made by somebody in a woodworking thing, but it was really pretty. That was a broken drum, by the way, and some things to hang on the wall in kids' rooms so they can hang up their stuff. That assumes that they will hang up their stuff. My kids wouldn't have, but you know, everybody's kids are different. If your kids will, they would probably work for you. Then across from that, they have their metal stuff. And this turkey was darling. We probably Hobby Lobby. We have a few Hobby Lobbies in the area. So I'm going to guess that's where he came from. But he was super cute. I almost got him for me. And then, we're planning on moving. And I really need to stop thinking about packing more stuff to take on our trip when we move. So I do like a cardinal. I did look at him. He was a little too much for what he was for one votive. If there'd been a pair, I might have picked them up. But cardinals, as a rule, do really well among the birds. There's a couple stocking holders that were Scotty dogs. And then, as you notice, the end caps are always beautifully arranged in this store, and they are also notoriously priced up. As you'll see there, $17.99 for a wicker basket. I think that's what it was. And that basket was really pretty too, and that wasn't too bad. I think that was $3 or $4.99, something like that, for that little tray. $3.49. So that wasn't terrible. Now, at this particular store on Tuesday, it's 25% off if you're a member, which I am. So it's usually a pretty good deal on Tuesdays if you can find things that aren't priced up terribly. And compared to the Salvation Army, which I went to later this day, which I used to be one of my favorite stores, and they've just gone off the rails right now. With the 25% off, it's really, really nice. So at the end, I'll tell you a little about my rest of my day as I'm thrifting. But I was in the mugs because I've had very good fortune in finding Deneen pottery mugs. Now, Deneen pottery does, I never can remember, Death Wish coffee mugs, which are worth, some of them, hundreds of dollars. So if you ever see a Skull or Death Wish coffee by Deneen Pottery, by all means, look them up because some of those go for a lot of money. But there's other ones that go for really good money too. And as a rule, some of them, they hit in the $25, $35, $40, $50 range, even if they're not Death Wish coffee. Some of the bed and breakfasts, which I will find as this video continues. That was an Anthropologie mug, but the gold leaf on the handle was worn off, but it was so pretty. It had an A on it too, but the flowers were pretty. If that was plain and the gold leaf wasn't worn off, I totally would have picked it up. Again, I'm showing you the floor, but trust me, there's more mugs here. And I did change the direction of the phone, so that is helpful. So back there, I spot them. There they are. These are Deneen pottery mugs for bed and breakfast in Cape May, I think. Or so anyway, there's the Deneen mark on the bottom, and I'm trying to get a better picture of it. They were $2.49 for both of them. $2.49 for both of them. They're $1, and I got 25% off. I almost jumped with joy right there because that is a really good deal. These are handmade pottery mugs, redware, glazed, pretty, and they have those stamps on the front. So that's another pottery mug that was there. That was the Green Dragon, and I did look that up because it had an interesting mark, but it wasn't worth anything. I mean, maybe $3, $4, $5, something like that. And it was big, so I ended up putting that back. But it goes in the cart for now because, you don't know until you look things up. And I did look everything up that I grabbed later, and 3/4 of it went back. So there are some Ray Dunn things. And that was cute, the coffee mug stack, but it's probably Walmart. I just literally was at Walmart later in the day and saw a pink one, very similar, and thought, wow, Walmart's going retro. These were like really cool looking bowls, and they were Hausenware, very heavy, like stoneware, but they were like they looked like they were handmade. They were like kind of not perfect. And I just thought they were really cool. These were Corning. As you see, I was making sure they weren't Pyrex. But they were $5. I don't know. And then a whole bunch of onion soup crocks. Should we be looking for any of those? Certainly. And some little pineapple plates. And lots of creamers and sugar bowls and gravy boats and little loaf pans and all those good things. Um, and that was just really cute. It had olives on it. Um, so I was just trying to, see what I could find. There was another candle, a rogue candle. And it's interesting because when you're doing this, like people always tell you, like you're looking through the camera, so you're not really looking around the same. That was a cute little covered bridge, Amish country souvenir. But it was like the tin plate, so it was pretty cute. And there's another little pottery crock there. So the luster got me. The luster got me. It's not going to be anything cool. It's Furio Mono or something, but I just thought the luster on that bowl was so pretty. I'm like shiny. If it's shiny, there I go. Yeah. So again, I picked this up. It is signed. Um, so I was debating, but I think this is supposed to have a lid. And I was going to go back and see if I could find the lid, and I forgot to do that. So these were cute, but they wanted a lot each. So they were made exclusively for Berlin Wishes, which were made in Thailand. So they probably a little older. They looked super 70s to me. Each girl was holding something different, but they were priced individually, and I think they were like three something a plate. So it would have been $12 for all of them. So they stayed. I did grab this little guy here though, and I did bring him home with me. I'm always about blue and white, and this was Bavarian. So Bavarian stuff tends to do pretty well. So I always tend to pick it up, especially blue and white. So that went into the thing, into the thing, and it's probably just like a teacup or like it didn't have a lid or anything, but it was pretty. Again, that looked cool. It is signed, but it looks like it's just like, a piece somebody made in maybe pottery class at school. But Liz did a nice job because I liked how it looked like a tree there. It was pretty cool. So go Liz. Anyway, so we got some scallop shells. Should you want to make some clams casino or oysters Rockefeller, that type of thing. Lots of clear glass. I do look at the clear glass. That was a Polish crystal, I believe the sticker said. Um, I'm always on the hunt for anything that might be Tiffany or one of Steuben, those kinds of things in the crystal. Um, so I thought this was a fairy light. I was so excited because I have a fairy light like that, only it doesn't have a hole in it. Neither side has a hole in it. They're just two little bowls stacked on top of each other. So they were cute, but darn, that's not hopeful at all. Uh, so lots of little dishes. There's a little bowl back there with a silver rim on it. I got like four of them for my wedding gift. They must have been like on sale someplace because we got lots of them. We ended up taking a few back because I don't think anybody needs that many of those bowls. So when I see them now, I just I don't even notice them because I had four of them at one point in my life. It's so funny. So anyway, now we're in the glassware and lots of glassware here. So down there on the shelf, do you see that little yellow glass on the bottom? I didn't until just now, and it better not have been a glassy baby or I'm going to cry. Been on the hunt forever. But generally there's nothing like that. These little red dot ones I pick up in a minute, they were cute as cute could be. And you're gonna laugh when you see, but right now I'm looking at this because I knew it was Epcot. I could tell. And I wanted to see what it was. I didn't pick it up, of course. And there's some bourbon glasses, but these were cute. They were plastic and they were originally $1.88 a piece at Walmart, which isn't bad because they were super cute. I was thinking, wow, those are kind of cute. and I might not, they could probably use them at home. So I went back and looked to see, and they were like, look, I need to see them now. I'm going to go back. I'm like such a, so I picked that up because again, I thought, was that a Glossy Baby? No, it was not. Is that a Glossy Baby? No, it is not. But now I go back to these because these are cute. So how much are they? For 4 of them, they wanted, you see it, 4.49. Well, wait, that's only moderately cheaper than they were brand new. So they got to stay. And not that 4.49 was bad. No, it wasn't. And I really didn't need them, so I didn't get them. But at the same time, if they were only $1.88 to begin with, come on now. That means they were like $8 to begin with. And then they're pre-owned and they're half price. And I probably could have got them less than that if I bought them half price when they were on sale at Walmart. I've got some really good things at Walmart. That was a Survivor. I'm a survivor. What's your superpower? Water bottle. And I was lamenting that it was a Goodwill. So I hope that that doesn't mean that their superpower didn't go so well in the end. I just hate that. I have a few people right now I know that are battling things, and I hate that battle. But anyway, so we're just hunting here, and that was a tie roller. I was contemplating if I need that. I like to sell ties, and that could be helpful maybe. A little grandma plate, a little chicken bowl. I think it was a sugar bowl. I like chickens too. Another creamer, mini pitcher, whatever you want to call it. And then look at this. The mother lode of all mother loads of mason jars has arrived at the thrift store. There's so many. I don't think I've ever seen. There's big ones, little ones, all different sizes. Little tiny ones, spice jars. And then there was this cute little orange, and it was glass, but it had a lid on it. And it was similar to, I have a blue pitcher like that. So it was pretty funny. I didn't expect to find that there for sure. Imagine my surprise. So again, we're on the end caps and lots of pretty things. Always pretty things on the end cap. And they do try to kind of color coordinate in the store, which does speak to me a bit, I have to admit. So there's some Tupperware. Yes, I know Tupperware sells. I know. I didn't even look at it because I wasn't paying attention to plastics as much as I was just looking at things on the shelf. I just knew, like, I honestly didn't even notice it till just now as we're watching it together. So, and over here is kitchen stuff, just stuff. And that thing was a Pampered Chef something, but it was plastic, and it only was the cranking part of it. The rest of it was nowhere to be seen, and I wasn't really sure what I was looking for, although sometimes Pampered Chef stuff can do really well. Now these, again, they're $3.49 a piece, but they're Pier 1. They're mosaic trivets. And there were 3 of them. So I did pick these up, and I did look them up, and they were worth a keep. So they did come home with me. So that was exciting. But so far, I'm not finding a whole lot of anything great. Now we're in the tumbler section, and boy, are there plenty. There's lots of Starbucks tumblers. There's a Christmas one. There was a red one on the bottom shelf. We're going to see another one in a minute as we look down here. But there's jillions, like just jillions. Water bottles and coffee things. And then there was a fresh cart. So I had to do my due diligence and go look at that. And as you can see, we have lots and lots of bags. Now the bags that were right behind me, I don't even look through them anymore because they almost always have broken things in them, and it's just frustrating. But this was a little bag of toys, and there were some Littlest Pet Shop ones in there and a couple other things. So the price was right. So in the cart it went. And personally, little toys make me a little crazy, but it was worth a look. So I did. So I went back and looked over here to see if there's anything else exciting. There were some little, like those, what are they called? LOL dolls. And then that one had a bunch of LOL dolls in it and a couple other things, but they're mostly LOL dolls. I must learn to not just look at me, but there you go. I did show you good, like some of it. There were some cars and there were some little vehicles that were like more like play schooly. And on the bottom, I was seeing if anything was down there. There was yarn and string, and I had plenty of that. Thanks so much. So now we're going on to the cookware and the kitchenware. Now, they often have great stuff here if you're looking to buy it for yourself because everything's priced up a little bit more. This is a iron frying pan. It was not a brand that I would pick up like a Griswold or anything like that. And I have found them, but I didn't this time. So I did take a perusal through the toy part of the bags. So there's a big wall of toy bags. So I always look there because I am on the hunt for loveys. So I love loveys. I just think they're so fun. And so I'm always looking here for like little small things. My daughter had alerted me to a toy later in the day that I wish I had looked for that earlier. That they're, those of you that know, Sunny Angels are kind of back in vogue, and there's like little ones. They are like mystery box ones, and some of them go for hundreds of dollars. So if you see any more new like Japanimation Sunny Angels out there, you might want to look them up because they're something special right now. They're very hot. People want them. There's a little dinosaur car. Um, and there were two of them in there, like construction vehicles. I never saw them before. My kids are so old now. I'm so out of the loop. There were a whole bunch of Thomas the Trains, which I was looking at. They wanted $6.49 because there were two Thomas the Trains in there and a bunch of other stuff. Um, so, like I said, they think they know, but they don't know. That's just kind of comical. Um, there were some rubber duckies back there, and then card games, Crazy Eights. Lots of little plastic matchbox kind of cars. And it's great if you're looking though, like for maybe party favors or something. You could find some really cute things for there. There were some scrapbooking things like stamps and things. So there were things to be found. Um, just not always what you're looking for, like little boxes and bins of things. There were some tiny food things in there, like the minis. So I kind of looked at that for a minute. There was a little camera and a little ice cream cone and a Blue's Clues thing. So I was taking a look to see if anything interesting was in there. I do like miniature things, like dollhouse furniture and stuff too. So sometimes you find some cool stuff like that in here as well. Um, you just have to kind of peruse through it. And it's hard to do that one-handed. There were two Snoopies in there. And there we have a tag. They weren't taggies. That was Bright Starts, which are faux taggies. But they were cute. And I was thinking about that. But one was a lion and one was a sloth. And I have actually a sloth right now. So I ended up leaving that there for the moment. Disappointed a little bit, I have to say. Lots of Beanie Babies. If anybody's looking for them, there's tons of them. I also look for like Barbie clothes, especially the old vintage Barbie, because that's always good. I picked him up because that was author, and there was a little elf in there. So, but I looked them up and they weren't, and that was Elves Behaving Badly. But sadly, they weren't worth very much, so they went back. But I do like author. And my daughter loved Caillou, so anytime I see anything Caillou, I always take a look at that as well. But there's a little My Little Pony. Trouble with that is you really got to know your My Little Ponies a little bit because there are fake My Little Ponies from China out there. Who would ever think there would be fake ponies? I just can't even. The things people fake, like fake ties. I get the Hermes fake. They were worth hundreds of dollars. I get it, but still, it's crazy. I was having a terrible time getting that off of there, but I finally did it. So, and then there's bags and bags of Barbies and not Barbies and Monster High dolls and all those kinds of things. And um, as you see, they're like $5.99 for one doll generally. And unless you're look you find something very obscure, this is probably not worth much more than that. So some Barbies are worth more than that, but they can take a while to go. So then this is the toy section, which is actually pretty neat today because so many parents aren't really good at watching their children in the store. In this store, though, I seem to see more parents just really minding where their kids are, and it just could be because this store is gigantic. It is a very, very large thrift store, and it would be really easy to lose a kid in here. So, if you don't want to lose them, you might want to keep an eye on them. That's all. So I was checking them out. I think that was on my generation, but you know, um, American Girl, you're always looking for, but guaranteed it was going to be like $15. I think that was $15 for that doll. So yeah, I probably would have passed at that, but I do like looking at them and seeing what they are. That was a horse. It was really cute, and this was a little lammy, special delivery lammy. I just thought it was so cute. It was, but the 349. I'm not going to pick up a plush for 349 generally. Once in a while, I do look though, because every now and then you find like something that is going to do really, really well, and then it's worth it. But generally, no, I'm not going to pick it up. No, it's just another lamb. They had a lot of lambs. I had a lot of. I was a give a mouse a cookie, and that was really cute. It was like a Kelly toy, and I think, oh no, Mary Meyer, and I did look that one up at 349 because it was shaggy and different looking. And it's obvious I have no idea where the camera is for you guys, so sorry. But anyway, I did put him back, but I ended up putting him in my cart and took a picture of him and looked him up later. That was, I think, oh, that was a polar bear. Sorry about that. And there was a Stitch and some Squishy Mellows, and that was an electronic dog. And there was a Daniel, the lion tiger in there from, I know it's Daniel something nowadays, but that was like a little squishy monster. So I was looking at that. And there was a blue bunny and a big bird and a Snoopy and a little giraffe and all sorts of things. And I'm fascinated by plush, so you'll have to pardon me while I just do my thing. That was like a big slinky thing in a bag. And there was a little keyboard down there. So I just kept perusing to see if I saw anything. And I didn't see anything exciting. But I did check all the tags to see what things were. And that was apricot lamb, and it was a lion, and I think I took him off as well and looked him up, but he ended up going back as well. So most of the time you see me like letting you just stare at the chain for a minute. It's because these have these little plastic, um, like you use in a gun, but they're like have a plastic hook on them. So hard to get off the chains. So now we have moved on to the Goodwill that I was parked in front of when we started, and this is their department where their purses are that they don't have marked up in the front. They're still marked up, but So this one still had tags on it, so I was taking a look at that. There were some little ones in here, the Vera Bradley, and that was just pleathery, and that was pretty. So I'm just seeing what there is here. It was a Lorenzo wallet and keychain. So, of course, as I'm trying to do this, there's a lady literally right behind me, and she's just rifling quickly through things and waiting. So, I don't like rushing. Look, go around me if I'm in your way. Just, oh my goodness, she just was waiting for me. And I was just trying to film and get some things on film for you guys and see what they had. And it was really difficult because you could tell she was just didn't want me to do that, and she just wanted to get around me. So eventually you're going to see me kind of give up and just move really quickly because she's not going to let me just do what I'm doing. And you can tell how I put that back, like, all right, we're going to play this game. So I'm trying to see some of the name tags. That was an Aldo. It was pretty. And this is like where she comes up and she's like right there. So I'm just kind of forced to move along. So I do try to peruse through here real quick. See what else? That was really tore up. There was a BB. But there's nothing good at all. Or even that feels good. Sometimes at least it feels good. So like New York and Company. Most of the purses are priced too high here. So I'm just looking at the wallets and the little things because sometimes you can do better with them. Because they're not priced up as much. That was like a jewelry case. And then there were some wallets in here. Again, nothing exciting. Another box. That was like a purse box, like a box that clipped at the top. Um, I just thought that was cute, the yellow one. But it wasn't anything special. So here I see a couple interesting things back here that I'm trying to grab. But before the see the ladies are like right there. I'm telling you, she did that the whole time. So I grabbed these two just to look at them for a minute and try to be out of her way. Um, I ended up putting that one back because it wasn't anything special or interesting. And I did grab, I think, this black one to look at it really quick because it had a cool kiss lock, but it was pretty beat up. You see at the top there. But it was different. It didn't have any name in it or anything, but it was cool looking. It was like a camera case almost, but it wasn't. It was definitely a purse. And then this other one was all leather, definitely leather, and it had beautiful tooling on it. But it was like a souvenir from Mexico. So this ended up, look, Cancun 2018. Wah, wah, wah. So that went back. So now we're in the jeans, and I really don't need jeans, but I just wanted to show you the dilemma that we have here in the jeans. $12.99 for jeans. $12.99. And what kind of jeans are the $12.99? Express. You get it? $12.99 Express jeans, $7.99 Soho jeans. And here we are at that. That's, yeah. So we aren't buying jeans here because I just don't have the time for this. I just don't. Sometimes you might find something worthwhile, but honestly, most of it's like universal, $7.99 universal thread. Yep. That's what we're up against. Old Navy. And I mean, some of them sell for like, $12, $15 maybe even, but it's $7.99. It's not even worth my time to take the pictures and deal with it. So we're moving on. We're just moving on. But if, I found them cheap at a yard sale or something, that would be fine. And honestly, back in the day when they had the sales, the prices and 50% off clothes and things, a $3 or $4 is okay. My little thrift store, like jeans are $5, I think. And, if I find a good pair at $5, it's even okay. Now we're in the $8 range. It starts becoming problematic. So, I just don't. And the same with the pants generally for the men. Those were Cabela's. Sorry, I can't even talk. But they, as you saw, it was peeled on the peel on the pant leg, and but I probably would have pulled them and looked them up. I know some Cabela's stuff is good, especially if they're like fishing pants or something special, like a specialty thing, which they may have been. Hi everybody. So I didn't do an outro for this video, and part of what I recorded only took a picture. The video never started or something happened. I don't know. But I also wandered over and looked at some ties, picked up a couple things. So all in all, at both of those thrift stores, I'm going to say I spent maybe $35. Um, I did end up picking up those tiles and those mugs that were in the video. I think they'll both do pretty well, and you'll see them in a haul video coming up. But I wanted just to give you a juxtaposition about, the prices, because I complain about the prices, and it's not that I don't find things from time to time. It's just, it's not like I used to. I could go spend $100 at a thrift store and find like just so much really good stuff like a year and a half ago, and now it's just, there's not as much good stuff to find to begin with. And the prices are like remarkably high. So this is just to give you an idea. So after I went to these two thrift stores, I went out with my daughter, and after I got done we went out to two thrift stores. We went to my little thrift store, and I went to Salvation Army after I dropped her off. So we went to a Goodwill. So it was a very lots of thrifting the last couple days. So the Goodwill we went to is a big Goodwill that's near me, and I literally spent $20 and got 4 things. We then went to my little thrift store, and I picked up 14 plush and 2 other items. I believe like the entire bag was full of stuff. And my daughter got a Halloween costume for her dog. She's a little pit bull. It was a banana split costume. It was really cute. I'll try to get her to send me a picture to show you when I do that haul video. But anyway, the entire bag, because it was senior citizen 50% off day, cost me $7. The entire bag. Even before that, it was only $14, but the entire bag was $7. Then the I went to Salvation Army after I took her home, and I was just doing a quick perusal. I wanted to look at ties, linens. I wasn't looking at clothing, even though it was clothing day. I just didn't feel like going through racks. They have Wednesdays 50% off clothing, but it was late in the afternoon. I had to go to Walmart still, and I'd been out all day, so I decided I'm not going to do it. I'll just go about my business, and just go look at the certain things. So I ran through the plush. I found one plush that was $1.99. It wasn't priced, but they gave it to me for $1.99. Excuse me. I'm hoarse. Things are blooming. It rained for like 3 days, and now everything's coming out. I picked up one little like table topper that was quilted for like $1.99. I think it was $1.99. Might have been $2.99. I picked up 2 ties, which were $2.49. And I picked up one baby blanket that was, I believe, crocheted, but it was like granny squares. Those are the only things I picked up, and it cost me $9.99 for 4 things. But when I was there, they had a really pretty pink and purple Pottery Barn kids quilt in the linen section. And I was going to pick it up. It was really pretty, and it was $49.99. $49.99. So I got to stay. And they also have like put the priced up stuff behind the counter, and they had a big box of like little wooden nutcracker ornaments that was from Sam's Club. I know where it came from. I've seen it before for $20, and I will guarantee you that it probably was the same price at Sam's Club. So anyway, it's infuriating. It's frustrating to me. So I just prefer, I will take you with me and take pictures in my little thrift shop. It's very dark in there though, so it's kind of hard to film. But I'll try to take you with me next time I go and just maybe spend some time showing you me digging through the bins there. Because although it's not a bin store, they do have big, like their plush are in big, like a playpen and a big thing, and you dig through it. So, but that I just wanted to kind of go over. So I did get some things at both places, and I did find a couple things, but it just wasn't like a great day there. But those haul videos will be coming up shortly. Trying to finish getting things listed from the stuff that I've been doing already. I'll have another haul video going up probably in a few days, because I think I have 5 or 6 or 7 in the can right now, like recorded and videoed, and I have all the prices pulled up. I just have to do the editing. So there's a lot going on, lots of going on. I'm trying to get better at doing these videos, mostly because with Go Godly, I'm going to be trying to do daily videos coming up when I get into that. And I just need to get really comfortable with the camera and the editing process, or at least be more eloquent when I speak, so I don't have to edit. Wouldn't that be great to be not stuttering and going ums and so's and yahs and all, all the noises I make? It would be great. It's probably never going to happen, but it would be great. Anyway, so that's it for today. If you like this content, give me a thumbs up, please. And subscribe, and I appreciate you guys watching, and hit the notification bell if you want to know next time I put stuff up. And leave a comment in the bottom if you saw anything you like. Yes, I know I moved the camera too fast. Yes, I know. I'm not holding things up so you can actually see them all the time. And I apologize, because it's just, I'm using my I don't have a GoPro. Not that that would help, trust me. And for like the cost of a GoPro, it probably wouldn't help. And it was kind of a last minute decision. I'm just trying to get a little, trying like to do different things and help do it. So I'm sure I'll get better at it if I can remember to video, because like I was up 3 other places and didn't videotape. But I will try to do a couple more when I'm out and about, next time I go to the little thrift shop especially, because there's just like, it's a fun place to shop. They have a lot of cool things. I don't pick up everything there either, but it's always fun to look around. And they price up things too, but they aren't always like crazy, and sometimes they price things up and they don't know what they don't know either. So it's okay, because they have lots of things that are still really good and wonderful. So you know, it's a win-win. And they have lots of furniture, so if you're ever looking for furniture, it's a place to go. If you're in the South Jersey area. So anyway, thanks again, and I do appreciate you watching. Leave me some comments. Please be kind, because I know, I'm working on it. I'm a work in progress. All right, guys, I will talk to you later. Have a good day, and I'll catch you on the next one.